Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 3 of Ace Attorney Apollo Justice. I almost got into the last game, and oh, no. Hopefully that did not go, because I actually was clicking to make sure my tab was there. Okay, this should be good, Okay, let me just double check to make sure the recording's still going. It's still going. Yep, okay, good. Sorry about that. I actually clicked the full screen mode, and I wanted to make sure that nothing was getting screwed over. Anyways, let's do this. Justice. Perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point.
Yes, please point out the contradiction in this photo. What particular point contradicts this witness's testimony?
Basically, the point is that we only see 2 aces. Anyways, wait here.
Mr. Orley, in your testimony, you made the following claim. Turn on the time, CzarThwomp. Mr. Smith's had 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim only had 2 aces.
Eek! Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question.
Take a look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Where's the 5th ace? I see cheating, alright, and it's going on right here in this courtroom! 2 aces in each player's hand does make 4 aces total. Hardly proof of cheating.
Wait, please. It is true. I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating, I swear to you.
That's odd. She must be lying. Yeah, she's the most sincere I've ever seen her all day.
You're right to trust your instincts.
Mr. Gavin!
Who knows what lies in store for us in this trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion.
What might that be, Mr. Gavin?
If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards.
The cards?
Mr. Payne.
Yes!
The players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court.
Very well, the prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine? The cards, the victim's cards, or the defendant's cards? If these cards don't prove any cheating was going on, nothing will! Now, which of these hands is more suspicious?
Okay.
It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well. Mr. Payne, if you would.
Very well!
Receive the victim's hand. Well, time's a-wasting. Get to it, Justice.
Yes, sir!
Yes, we can check. We can check these cards. When examining evidence, be sure to change it from all sides and angles. Try using the dials on the evidence viewer. That should give you a better perspective on the case.
Okay, let's do this!
Okay. No.
Well, has the defense found anything of relevance? I think I found nothing out!
Perhaps you'd best examine the defendant's cards before leaping to any conclusions. Or maybe you'd rather examine these cards one more time.
Well, do I examine the other
Examine this hand again. Basically, sorry about that. Screw this. Okay, I'm going to use my mouse this time. I know it's the back that you look at. Okay.
Well, what? Your Honor, look at this! One of the victim's cards! The back is a different color!
That's impossible! But I put that card in Mr. Wright's hand.
What was that, Miss Orley?
No, niet. I said I have eek.
Your Honor.
Mr. Gavin, yes?
Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker?
To cheat?
I'll tell you, from personal experience, of course. One merely needs a friend, a comrade, shall we say. The stealer.
Wait, you mean... This Miss Orley?
She's the cheater. A professional, I'd wager.
Yeah!
Order! Focus, Justice! Time to take advantage of her! Of the mistake!
Oh, please, Mr. Justice, like you could take advantage of anyone.
Your Honor! For all the testimony we just heard,
That impossible. But I put that card in right hand.
Ergo, Miss Olga Orley conspired to cheat, not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith.
Sorry, I was distracted because I love this pursuit theme. I love the objection theme. Actually, no, sorry. Sorry, this is the pursuit theme. Yeah, this is the pursuit theme. Yeah, it's always sounded weird compared to the others.
Not only does she cheat, she cheated poorly! Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim.
What?
Wait, you don't mean the defense is accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orley, are you? Time for justice! There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident. And Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am! I am guilty! The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orley, of murder!
Eek!
Ten out of 10, perfect placement.
Mr. Payne, where is your witness, Miss Olga Orley?
It appears she has lost consciousness, Your Honor.
Mr. Justice, Your Honor, it seems you presented a new possibility to the court, one suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith. And that means this court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time.
What?
I did it! I held out! I didn't completely suck! I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries.
And then we have Phoenix just flipping things over. Flipping this case.
But Mr. Wright!
You can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet.
What nonsense is the defense viewing now?
Think. One of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means?
What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raise objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous!
Mr. Payne, you of all people should know, Mr. Wright has a talent for bluffing his ass off for the ridiculous. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night.
As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night.
That was said before!
The 2 decks at the club have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per deck.
Why use different colored backs?
If we use the same color, the 2 decks might get mixed.
You used different colors and they still got mixed up.
We used the red deck for the last game.
I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards. Yeah, me too! I'm sure someone said something about blue cards.
Whatever, in the end, 1 card of the wrong color got into the mix. Which means there was cheating!
Yes, a card slipped into the deck would seem to indicate cheating. Yet, this card raises 2 serious questions. Apollo.
Yes?
Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think, in the last game, when was the card swapped?
When?
There are 3 broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder.
Well, yeah, thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped.
Oh? It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne, or it might not.
Yeah!
I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? When was the card swapped to the deck?
Perhaps it happened after the murder.
What is that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly!
Yes, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? I'll tell silly or impossible.
Hear me, Sonny! There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible!
Oh, even when the backs of the cards are a different color? If you bought that during the game, you'd be caught in no time.
Quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped in after the hands were shown, after the murder.
Okay, this is going past silly and straight on to crazy! I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game is over? Who would do that?
Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us.
There's another?
Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card?
What? Who?
The game and the murder is done. The victim is dead. Only two remain in that room, alive that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Orley.
Okay, so who was it that swapped the red for the blue card? The one who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga Orley either. What are you suggesting?
That's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the defense, I think it only makes sense for you to say Miss Orley at this point.
Yes, I know, but she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong colored card. If the card was swapped during the game, it'd be obvious. Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright?
Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking about how much fun all this is.
Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant and wasn't Miss Orley, then who was it?
Yeah, well, that is the question, isn't it?
Precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction.
A new direction?
We'll find that, indeed, after the murder, someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hands, and that someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us the first was swapping the wrong colored card. Because the one who did the swap didn't know two colors of cards were being used. The other mistake was the number on the card.
Right! The person replaced the fifth ace with a king!
I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace after all. All they knew was the game had been won with a full house. So they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in.
But there's one problem! According to our case record, that person doesn't exist!
True, not until now. But you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. Though it's more than a possibility. There was someone else there that night at the scene of the crime.
What?
I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials. Ridiculous, Mr. Wright.
This trial is proceeding on one central assumption, namely that at the time of the incident, there were only 3 people in that room.
I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption.
The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court.
I suppose that is a problem, yes.
Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Very well. The trial will resume in 20 minutes.
And then basically during that discussion, just
the judge. So Mr. Gavin, I got this new phone. How do I type in a number?
That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that, I must ask, is it true? Well now, I think you would know the answer to that. Screw you, Wright. Screw you with a tire iron that has been cooked in the fires of hell. Screw you, Wright. Ah, being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I have no time for mysteries. Before you see, unlike you, Mr. Wright, I have a life. I'd only ask that you leave the defendant to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. You hate me, don't you, Wright? Gavin, Christoph, you know the answer to that. I knew it. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Christoph. I am mellow, Wright. I am the coolest defense in the West. My mom says so, Wright. Justice.
Yes, sir?
The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me. You did well, Apollo.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
That locket you wear, is that really yours, Mr. Wright?
You were wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there.
I'm just surprised to hear you haven't had a daughter.
Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days.
One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you?
What do you think?
Huh?
You know what happened 7 years ago. What I did. It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat.
I never honest, but it is odd that you managed to go into defeat for 7 whole years.
Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker.
What about war?
You see, poker is all about reading your opponents. In that way, it's a lot like a court case.
Poker is like trial law?
Figure out what your opponent is thinking, and you'll win.
Bull crap! Phoenix has never figured out, in all of his time as a defense attorney, Phoenix never once figured out what his opponents were thinking. Hell, Phoenix didn't even know what he was thinking half the time.
If that was the case, Edgeworth would be winning every trial against Phoenix. Actually, no, then again, Phoenix wasn't thinking. Edgeworth couldn't figure that out. Edgeworth, darn you, right! I can't know what you're thinking! It's like white noise!
Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds.
I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information.
You're kidding!
That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice?
No! Come on, who does that?
Words, habits, twitches. It's all information for the reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass that secret on to you.
But I'm not worthy! I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals!
No, you can do it.
Huh?
You just don't know it yet.
What's he talking about?
But you will, soon. Almost forgot one more thing about this case. You should know, I haven't told the truth to anyone yet.
What? I knew it!
I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power.
My power! I had no idea my cords of steel were that special!
No, I'm talking about your ability to be the universe's punching bag. You'll draw in all the bad luck from me and just take it into your body. It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best. To be continued. And meanwhile, Kristoff's just getting pissed off in the judge's chamber.
Mr. Gavin, I still don't understand how to do this.
And you press the buttons, Your Honor. The buttons. You press the buttons on the phone. Use your fingers, Your Honor. You have them. You were born with them. Use your fingers. It's not like in the cave days where you had to use your brushes of paint. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Court will now reconvene. Has our witness, Miss Olga Orley, recovered?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, she's regained consciousness.
Perhaps we can hear her version of the events again.
That's the thing. You see, she's quite fatigued.
You're looking a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne.
Sadly, fatigue is insufficient grounds for refusing to testify or prosecute. The defense would like to request that Miss Orley take the stand.
Very well. The witness will take the stand.
Perhaps you could repeat your name and profession? Or perhaps you'd rather admit that you're a poor liar, and a poor loser, and a murderer, and someone who is not being cooperative with my goals.
Not.
Name's Olga Orley. That's the truth. I'm a pro dealer. People call me Olga Quickfingers Orley. Oh, yes. Sorry. Like I said, I was trying to do something other than the Mew voice and failed. She gets thought voice because she has the thought vibes. Wanna know something else? I'm not really Russian, and my last name's out like, oh really? I'm telling you my puns now to take all the fun out of it. There, that's the truth. I hope you're satisfied.
Witness, you will tell the court what you were really up to that night.
Fine, I'll talk. We had a plan, see?
Let me remind you that you are currently under oath. Any further fabrications will have serious consequences.
Fine. Like I said, I'm a pro. That guy, Smith, hired me to do what I do best. I was playing at the Borscht Bowl Club several days prior to the night of the game, as a waitress.
So you were in cahoots with the victim?
Not that he needed my help. Smith is a well-known poker player in some circles. But winning wasn't the main purpose of this game. It was about destroying a legend, the unbeatable Phoenix Sprite. The plan was simple, elegant really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. It was to plant a card in the ride's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one game. When their hands would be revealed, Smith would call him out and search right. He would then pull out the playing card and the trap would snap shut.
I love how just mellow Felix is like, he's like, yeah, touching me up, feel me up. You swapped the cards!
Exposed to the cheetah and losing on top of it, it would have made a great double play. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces.
Indeed, getting caught red-handed Ching would cast down all his prior wins.
A 7-year legend destroyed by one little card. That was the plan.
Oh, really, Orly? How droll.
But it appears you made quite the mistake.
A mistake?
Yes, she messed with me, Christoph Gavin. You see, right as my friend... Sorry, I puked a little in my mouth. Right as my acquaintance is under my wing. He is under my protection. And as such, he is privy to all sorts of privileges that are not available to the rest of the general public. Such as my intellect. Me protecting him in his time of need. Hairstyling tips. Look at my drill. Isn't it elegant? And any trivia that he may need on Shirley Temple Films. Shirley Temple Films, the greatest of all the movies. American treasures, really. Yet what happened to that planted card?
Hey, that's right!
He's lucky. I'll give him that. You'd have to be a slip free from a trap laid by Olga Quickfingers Orley.
Oh, really? The witness would be much cuter if she dispensed with the evil mastermind shtick.
Cute? Who wants to be cute? I'm not cute. I'm bad. You hear me? Bad.
When you're through being bad, perhaps you could testify to the court. Tell us about this trap and how it was sprung.
The best laid traps. That night, I played the card like I was supposed to. And Wright lost the last hand just as like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. It wasn't me who Smith. It was that no good and cheating defendant.
A surprisingly frank testimony that still leaves us mostly in the dark.
The trap was perfect, I tell you. Perfect. If that rotten cheetah hadn't messed it up.
Look who's talking! Well, to the testimony for what it's worth is all yours, Mr. Justice. I don't want it. With witnesses like her, who needs criminals? And what defense like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutors?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I know basically you gotta look at the sprites. I think this is the one.
Wait, isn't that a little odd?
What's odd?
You searched Mr. Wright thoroughly and found nothing, which means he didn't cheat, which means he had no reason to strike the victim.
Oh, well, yeah, here we go. This is the one.
What was that just now? I sensed something!
His poly senses.
Something wrong, Mr. Justice? No, nothing, Your Honor. What do? Should I press her a little harder? Miss Orley, you're hiding something!
What are you talking about? You. Me, quick fingers, Orley, ha. The defense were afraid for baseless accusations!
I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is that true?
Of course it's true. I did see it, honest. I saw it when Mr. Wright hit him. With my own eyes, I saw it.
What's this weird vibe I'm getting?
That witness, for instance, Miss Orley, she would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice?
Touching her neck, was it? What the? What type of hellscape am I in? Help! Mr. Gavin!
I can just imagine Polly just spacing out his wild.
Ah! Whoa, what's going on?
Mr. Justice, what's happening? You're having a seizure.
Ah! I'm in the hellscape Mr. Goblin! Help!
Literally, it's like Apollo is saying into the pits of hell!
The sensation, it's coming into focus! There, the twitch, it's so clear! It's like I could perceive her habit like I couldn't before!
Apollo in the hellscape.
Miss Orley, perhaps you are unaware of this yourself.
Unaware of what?
Whenever you get to a certain part of your testimony, you touch the back of your neck with your left hand.
My neck. So what?
Well, indeed, Justice. I hadn't noticed anything of the sort. And I am the most observant person I know.
When she said that part of her testimony, she's subconsciously recalling something. Her body reacts to the memory, and she touches her neck. I'm sure of it.
A memory? Would someone care to explain what he's babbling about?
This is highly unusual, but let's ask the defendant. You claim the witness is remembering something. Maybe you have evidence of this memory to show us. Her hand is scratching her neck whenever she talks about the moment of the crime. So what reminded you the most of the moment of the crime? Miss Orley, whenever you recall the crime that night, you scratch your neck. I've noticed it happens when you think about the moment of the crime. There must be some reason behind this habit of yours. I believe the weapon had left an irreversible impression on your neck. Is this? And
I can barely speak. It's the bottle. The attorney's badge! Deadly bottle.
Whenever she talks about the moment of the crime, she touches her neck. And what reminds us more of the moment than this bottle, the murder weapon? But something doesn't fit. If you were only the witness of the crime, why would that make you touch your neck like you're in pain?
We'll answer that question next time. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer. Hope you come back for the next one. Please, if you like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. And with that, I'll see you next time. Bye.